In a package this afternoon, Governor Moino calls for consensus efforts by officials for success of Arise agenda. Akwa Ibom Governor appoints 3 new honorary special advisors, dissolves Fadama Microfinance Bank Board. 27 others make ministerial list. And Super Falcons spank Australia 3-2, raise hopes of progressing to second round. We have these and other stories. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. My name is Mandwe Senobong. Here is the news at noon. We begin by telling you that Governor Umoino has called for consensus efforts by officials of government at all levels for the Arise agenda economic blueprint to be achieved. He stated this at the Ibom Icon Hotels and Golf Resort, where the policy document was launched. The state's chief executive said it would not be business as usual going forward, noting that every government memo would be expected to reflect on an aspect of the Arise agenda that it intends to address. Speaking shortly after the launch of the policy roadmap, the governor noted that the document is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations and charged Akwa Ibom people, especially the youth, to key into the agricultural revolution and other areas of development to engage themselves positively, in addition to other programs of government targeted at youth empowerment. Governor No announced plans to set up a project monitoring and technical review committee and ensure that all contracts awarded pass through the committee for purposes of due process and accountability. While acknowledging contributions by various stakeholders towards the success of the Ibom dialogue and launch of the Arise agenda, the governor emphasized that his government will remain open to ideas and work with all, irrespective of party affiliations, for continued growth in the state. In her opening remarks, the Chairman Planning Committee and State Deputy Governor, Dr. Akun Eyayi, agreed that Governor Moino has dominated the biblical instruction, has demonstrated, the biblical instruction in Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, by writing the vision, which is the Arise agenda, and making it plain with the just concluded Akwa Ibom dialogue. Presenting the document, the economic advisor to the governor, Dr. Urarabong Inam, said the Rise agenda, being an economic blueprint for consolidation and expansion, would serve as guide that would consciously drive development efforts in the present administration. The document launch featured brief exhortation by the Bishop Emma Isong, cultural displays, unveiling of the official logo, and presentation of a theme song for the Arise agenda. The launch of the Arise agenda blueprint marked the end of a 4-day policy discourse tagged Akwa Ibom Dialogue, which featured the decoration of some personalities as Arise agenda ambassadors by Governor Umoino. The three new honorary special advisors have been appointed by Governor Moino to assist in the interpretation of his vision and programs for the state. There are Mrs. Rose Eshed, Mrs. Ime Udo, and Mr. Nkeruwem Onu. Governor Moino pronounced the appointment during the Ibom dialogue, which ended yesterday at the Ibom Icon Hotels and Golf Resort, Uyu. Patience John completes the story.
Honorary special advisors are Mrs. Rose Eshet as special advisor oil and gas, while Mrs. Imodo and Mr. Nkeruwem are appointed special advisors on culture and tourism. The governor said he was particularly impressed with the presentation of Mrs. Eshet, a former group general manager of the NNPC in charge of crude oil, at the ongoing Akwa Ibom dialogue.
Madam Rose just retired as the Group General Manager, NNPC, in charge of crude in this country. We have people, and yet we need to go after them. Thank you all most profoundly for the great and outstanding job you have done in further distilling, analyzing the layers of our governance blueprint, the Arise Agenda.
Governor Moino also announced the dissolution of the management of Ibom Fadama Microfinance Bank and spoke on the need for collaboration among government ministries, departments, and agencies. Governor Moino described the unhealthy competition among them as a waste of resources inimical to the growth of the state and called on the incoming commissioners to guide against such.
The Ministry of Power is going to be a separate standalone ministry on its own. So we're merging environment, petroleum, mineral resources, however we want to code it, into one ministry. So that because whoever is going to be the commissioner for power has work. And you see all of these things that they are telling us timelines. These are our timelines. There's no portfolio you will handle today in Akwa Ibom State government that will make you go home and sleep.
Resource persons, experts, and professionals on diverse areas that will help to achieve the vision encapsulated in the Arise Agenda brainstormed as the dialogue entered day 3. The 4-day Akwa Ibom dialogue ends on Thursday. Patience John, Akbc News.
Mr. Raphael Edem immediate pass aid to former Governor Udom Emmanuel is now the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Umoino on Brand Management and Marketing. The State Governor, Pastor Umoino, announced the appointment at the official launch of the economic blueprint of his administration, the Arise Agenda, at Ibom Icon Hotels and Golf Resort, Uyo. Governor Umoino has also made some modifications on the appointment of his Special Assistant on Public Affairs, appointing Barrister Morgan Ekanum as Senior Special Assistant on Special Duties. The Governor held Mr. Raphael Edem and Barrister Morgan Ekanum, as well as other youths who have excelled in various fields, developing their capacity and achieving successes. Governor Eno urged them to mentor other youths to rise to the peak of their career and contribute to building the next generation of Akwa Ibom sons and daughters. When we return, Catholic Diocese of Uyo and Ikorek, a flag of advocacy to end human trafficking and domestic servitude. Begotten School holds graduation send-off party for final year students. We have those stories and others after the break. Please don't go away. Thank you for being a great company, and welcome to the rest of the stories this afternoon. A board of trustees to man the affairs of the Host Community Development Trust of Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited and Mobile Producing Nigerian Unlimited joint venture for Ibono local government area has been inaugurated. It has Mr. Samuel Thomas as chairman, with Barrister Inyang Diamond Akpan Ika, Mrs. Glory Ukocho, Dr. Timothy Okun, and Engineer Inyang Itrecho as members. Eyanopo reports that Mr. Kaniyene Esiere is the secretary of the BOT of MOME and Ibono Trust. Her report.
On behalf of the NNPC, MPNU joint venture, I would like to formally inaugurate the Board of Trustees and official presentation of certificates to the Chairman of the Board.
The inauguration of the Board of Trustees for Ibano Host Community Development Trust is to ensure that residents of the communities are treated fairly and benefit, according to NNPC Mobile Producing Nigeria Limited joint venture. The chairman of the BOT, Mr. Samuel Thomas, who spoke on behalf of the board, thanked the NNPC Mobile joint venture for finally providing the host communities with the avenue to table their challenges and the way forward. He promised that the board will work with the oil firms for the success of the project in accordance with the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021, but mentioned that over the years, even our local government area has been sidelined without developmental strides.
And the trust they've given to us, they believe in us, and we should be able to champion that cause. And I'm happy you're still part of this team. And we'll need your support to ensure that those lofty plans that we have in our dream plans will be achieved and achieved seamlessly and on time. I want to thank the chairman of the local government area. He has forgotten as a young man. About 20 years ago, the Black Caucus of the American democracy visited even for an assessment to understand what was going on in the most peaceful, all-inclusive community in Nigeria. Please, I look back for one.
The chairman of Ibana local government, High Chief William Ba, representative of the state government, Dr. John Etam, and other stakeholders sued for continued partnership between the oil companies, the host communities, and the state government.
We are gradually moving from the era of fossil fuel to some other alternatives, not being as good as they used to be. I want Mobile as our partner to consider the migration, gradual migration to the use and adoption and patronage of these alternative sources of energy.
We celebrate Mobile today like that day. It's been a long, long walk to freedom. Long walk to freedom. Thank you, all of you, for coming on board to witness this ceremony. Let me give Mobile an assurance that we will not abuse this privilege. We will not abuse this privilege. We will use it wisely. We will know that it's a hard aim.
The chairman and managing director, ExxonMobil affiliate companies in Nigeria, leader of the NNPC team, general manager, public and government affairs, spoke on the essence of the inauguration of the BOT.
I really understand the nature responsibility. It's a long journey that's been made us. And today is an opportunity to change things.
In the PIA regime, all stakeholders successfully harmonized their very interest culminating in the eventual incorporation of the trust.
To positively impact against restlessness among the host communities and guarantee seamless operations of the exploration and production companies.
Eyageno Paul, Akbc News.
As part of the missionary activities, Dominicans, Nigeria Conference of Women Religious, NCWR, as well as Catholic Dioceses of Uyo and Ikot-Ekpene have collaborated with the African Faith and Justice Network, Nigeria, to advocate end to human trafficking, domestic servitude, and child marriage. The event, which is a week-long advocacy program, was flagged off with a workshop at the Pastoral Center, Catholic Diocese of Uyo, Dominic Utuk Avenue, Uyo. Esther Moran completes the report.
The founder, African Faith and Justice Network Nigeria, who is also the director, Women Empowerment Program, Reverend Father Anyedi Okure, said the advocacy is aimed at stirring up collective ideas to curb the menace of human trafficking, child marriage, and domestic servitude. Reverend Father Okure called for teamwork and community sensitization to promote a good lifestyle, encourage trade and education, especially that of the girl child, as they have strong correlation on child's training, thus boosting children's self-confidence in rejecting servitude, trafficking, and child marriage.
My mention of human trafficking is to show the link between the practice of domestic recruiting of house helpers and the loopholes it provides for human trafficking, and the violations of the rights and dignity of the victims. So the overall aim is to stir up a collective thinking on ways to end this practice.
The coordinator, African Faith and Justice Network, AFJN, Women Empowerment Project, Sister Eukaria Madweke, who spoke on what she and her team have done so far to salvage the situation, noted that such have yielded positive results. She advocated teamwork, continuous media advocacy, and community sensitization, which she said would be incorporated in the week-long activities.
If you are interested in justice, you are part of this organization. So it's an organization that is very embracing. And that's why whenever we go for program, we want to invite everybody, because we believe that it's together that we can create a change.
A representative of NAPTIP, who is also the head Public Enlightenment Uyo Zonal Command, Mrs. Emenyobon Opabio, as well as a representative of FIDA, who is also the Vice Chairperson, FIDA Uyo Branch, Barrister Love Achibo, both spoke exhaustively on legal implications of domestic servitude, human trafficking, and child marriage, as well as the way forward in curbing the menace.
Find something doing. Just engage your hands. Acquire skills, either naturally or artificially. Don't just sit down and fold your hands and wait for that greener pasture.
It is important to note the adverse effect on the child. They are abused one way or the other, physically and sexually and otherwise. And most times they have health issues.
The host and Bishop of Uyo Catholic Diocese, Most Reverend John Ayer, as well as the Bishop of Ikoripene Diocese, Most Reverend Camino Sumo, pledged their support to ensure the advocacy program yields positive results for a better society.
But for us in the church, we should be very frank to talk to ourselves too. Things that go on within the church that are not proper, that we can manage to correct.
The event featured a plenary session, while the National Coordinator, African Faith and Justice Network, Sister Benedict Okure, had this to say.
So we decided, myself and the rest of the team that we introduced it, let us come home and see what is going on and join hands to promote the dignity of Akbc mind, not only for Akbc, but for what God sent them into this world to do.
Esther Umorin, Akbc News.
It was the end of one chapter and the beginning of another as the Bigotten School International marked the end of a successful academic year with a graduation ceremony and a send-off party. The achievements and hard work of its graduating pupils and students were honored at the ceremony held at the school premises number 33 Court Idara Road, Ekritan 2, Itu local government area. The event had parents, teachers, and friends who gathered to celebrate the students' and pupils' academic achievements and recognize their dedication and perseverance. Miriam Ikwo to us more.
Dr. Edidium Isomoyo commended the graduating students and pupils for their exceptional performance and encouraged them to embrace the challenges
that lie ahead. Reflecting on the memories and experiences shared at Begotten School, Dr. Isonyo expressed gratitude to the teachers and other staff who played significant roles in molding the pupils.
This year's celebration is tagged Skill Acquisition, a panacea for economic growth and development. Skill acquisition is a catalyst for change and the driving force behind sustainable development.
The chairman on the occasion, Dr. Sien, said she was proud of the accomplishments of the students, highlighting their dedication, perseverance, and hard work throughout the academic year. Dr. Sien commended the academic achievements, extracurricular involvement, and personal growth, emphasizing that these accomplishments were a result of their commitment to excellence.
To all our graduating students, we say congratulations again. And also note that we are graduating from one stage to another. And as you are getting into the new stage, that you should take your studies and every other thing very seriously.
The keynote speaker, Dr. Alice Etok, an expert in the field of skills development, stressed the acquisition of diverse skills beyond academic achievements, emphasizing their relevance in today's rapidly evolving world. Dr. Etok highlighted the changing landscape of the job market and the need for individuals to possess a versatile skill set and encourage students to explore and develop skills in areas of problem solving, food processing, communications, and critical thinking, as well as technology.
It's very important right now that every man, every woman, every boy, every girl, every child should acquire skill in order to sell through in the present day economic situation.
The event featured dance, recitations, and drama presentation, among other activities.
Thank you for helping me. Tell us to be alright and how to take control. They show us love, affection, care, and compassion.
Please deliver what you see and encourage them.
Miriam Ekbotu, Akbc News.
Now, the Senate yesterday received names of 28 nominees for appointment as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Among them is a one-time House of Representatives member from the state, Obon Emem Ekperikpe Ekpo. Others are the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, and his Rivers State counterpart, Mr. Nyesom Wike. The names were read at plenary by the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, after receiving the list from the Chief of Staff to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. Femi Bajabiamila, Senator Akpabio, said the nominees would be screened by the Committee of the Whole. Now, sports. The Super Falcons yesterday defeated Australia 3-2 to record the first win in the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup. Yesterday's victory is the Falcons' 5th win in the history of the Women's World Cup. With the defeat, the Super Falcons' chances of reaching the round of 16 have been boosted after Canada secured a 2-1 victory against Ireland Wednesday. In the opening match at the tournament, the Falcons displayed defensive prowess, including goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnodozie saving a penalty to secure a commendable point. The 9-time African champions have recorded only 5 wins in the history of the competition: 2 at the 1999 edition against North Korea, and Denmark against Canada in 2011, and at the 2019 edition, where they also recorded a 2-0 win over North Korea. Now we go international. Singapore is to execute a 45-year-old woman, Saridewi Damani, who was found guilty of trafficking 30 grams of heroin in 2018. The Singaporean national will be the second drug convict to be executed 3 days after fellow Singaporean Moor Aziz bin Hussein in March last year. Reports say Saridewi testified during her trial that she was stocking up on heroin for personal use during the Islamic fasting month. Singapore has some of the world's toughest anti-drug laws, which it says are necessary to protect society. Singapore mandates the death penalty for trafficking of more than 15 grams of heroin and more than 500 grams of cannabis. And that's a package this afternoon. Before we go, we take another look at the top stories. Governor Moino has called for consensus efforts by officials of government at all levels for the Arise Agenda economic blueprint to be achieved. He stated this at the Ibom Icon Hotels and Golf Resorts, where the policy document was launched. 23 new commissioners and 1 special advisor have been sworn in yesterday as members of the State Executive Council by Governor Moino, who administered the oath of allegiance and that of office on them at the banquet hall, Government House, Uyu. The governor charged the Executive Council members to be diligent, hardworking, committed to be ready to serve Akwa Ibom people in accordance with the Arise Agenda. And that's a package. We thank you for being a great company. We'll update this bulletin at 8. We look forward to your company. And here are best wishes for you this weekend. My name is Mando Esianabon. Have a great day. Good afternoon.